Ladies and gentlemen, champions and winners in the making, listen to me and listen well. If you want to change your life, you first have to change the conversation you are having with the most important person in your life, yourself. The words you speak internally shape the world you live in externally. And today I'm going to show you how to talk to yourself for just 3 days, and if you do, your entire destiny can begin to shift. Not in a year, not in a month, in just 3 days. Are you ready? Let's dive deep. Most people live their lives trapped by what they see, what they feel, and what they experience. They rehearse their problems, repeat their failures, and redeclare their weaknesses every single day without even realizing it. But if you ever want to rise above where you are, you must stop talking about your circumstances and start declaring your identity. Your current situation is not your permanent destiny. Your calling, your purpose, your true power. That is who you really are, even if it hasn't fully shown up yet. When you speak, you are either reinforcing your prison or releasing your promise. You are either telling your mind, your spirit, and your surroundings to stay the same, or you are commanding them to change and align with your destiny. Think about it. When you say things like, I'm broke, I'm tired, I'm stuck, your words are locking the door to your own prison. Every time you declare your circumstance, you are breathing life into it. Words have creative power. They are not neutral. You are either building your future or you are building a wall that keeps your future out. But when you shift and start declaring your identity instead, everything changes. Instead of saying, I'm broke, you say, I am wealthy and opportunities are chasing me down. Instead of saying, I'm stuck, you say, I am a solution maker and doors are opening for me daily. This isn't lying to yourself, it's aligning yourself. You are speaking from the reality of your purpose, not the reality of your problems. Now, you might ask, but what if I don't feel wealthy? What if I don't see any doors opening? That's exactly why you must speak it anyway. You don't declare what you see, you declare what is promised, what is potential, and what is possible. Your words are prophetic. They create paths where there were none. When you speak your identity consistently, you start to believe it. When you believe it, you start to behave like it. When you behave like it, the world starts to respond to you differently. Your energy shifts, your decisions sharpen, your opportunities multiply. Life starts getting in line with what you said because you said it first. Let me give you a short but powerful example. A young man grew up in a rough neighborhood where poverty, violence, and failure were normal. Every day, his environment screamed at him, you'll never make it out, you'll end up just like everyone else. And for a long time, he believed it. But one day, someone challenged him. They said, stop telling yourself what you see around you, start telling yourself who you really are. So he did. Every morning, he stood in front of a cracked mirror and declared, I am a world changer. I am wealthy. I am wise. I am a leader. Even though nothing changed at first, he kept declaring it for days, then weeks, then months. His mindset began to shift. He started seeking different opportunities, associating with people who thought bigger, applying for programs, working on skills he didn't even know he had. Fast forward a few years, he became a successful entrepreneur, a mentor, and a voice of hope for others from the same neighborhood. His circumstances didn't change first, his words did. You see, that's the secret. You don't talk about where you are, you talk about where you're going. You don't echo your environment, you announce your assignment. Life responds not to need, but to faith. And your words are the first and loudest signal of your faith. If you speak weakness, you attract defeat. If you speak strength, you invite victory. It's not magic, it's a spiritual law. Let me say, right now, wherever you are, you have two choices. You can keep speaking what you see, or you can start speaking what you believe. You can keep saying what your bank account says, what your circumstances say, what the doubters say, or you can start declaring who you were born to be. The moment you open your mouth, you are either designing your future or delaying it. The power is in your tongue, and the life you live will rise or fall to the level of your confession. So declare it boldly, declare it daily, declare it even when everything around you tries to argue back. Keep declaring it until the world around you has no choice but to match the world you've been speaking into existence. Declare your identity, not your circumstances. And watch how fast your life begins to rise to meet your words.
Every single day, thousands of thoughts run through our minds, and not all of them are working in our favor. Some thoughts are weapons designed to derail us. They come quietly, dressed as common sense or even caution, but if you don't deal with them immediately, they start building strongholds in your mind. The problem is, most people don't realize they have the power to reject a thought. They think if it shows up, it must belong there. What? The key is this. The moment a negative thought crosses your mind, you must cancel it immediately. Don't entertain it. Don't debate with it. Don't let it linger even for a moment. Negative thoughts are not harmless. They are snakes. And you don't babysit snakes. You crush them on sight. When a thought says you're not good enough, you don't sit there wondering if it's true. You say out loud, that's not my thought, that's not my truth. That's not my future. You break it with your voice. You don't win battles in your mind with silence. You win by speaking. You see, negative thoughts grow in silence, but they die when confronted with truth spoken out loud. Your words are weapons, and when you speak truth against a lie, the lie loses its power immediately. If you let a negative thought stay, even for a few minutes, it begins to lay bricks. Those bricks become walls. Those walls become prisons. And before you know it, you're locked inside a life that was built by thoughts you should have evicted the moment they showed up. Imagine your mind like a garden. Every thought is a seed. Some seeds are life-giving, others are deadly. If a weed pops up, you don't say, let me watch it for a few days and see if it ruins the garden. No, you pull it out immediately before it has a chance to spread. Negative thoughts are mental weeds. If you don't remove them instantly, they don't just stay the same size. They multiply. They recruit other negative thoughts. And soon, you're dealing with anxiety, fear, and paralysis, all because you allowed one thought to stay unchecked. Let me give you a quick, powerful example. There was once a young woman named Jenna who dreamed of starting her own business. She was talented, hardworking, and had a great idea. But every time she thought about launching, a thought would creep in. What if you fail? What if you're not cut out for this? What if people laugh at you? At first she tried to ignore it. She thought if she stayed positive in other areas, the fear would eventually go away. But it didn't. In fact, the longer she ignored it, the louder it got. It started affecting her confidence, her mood, her energy. It wasn't until one day, after hearing someone speak about canceling negative thoughts immediately, that she decided to change her approach. The very next time the thought of failure popped up, she didn't just sit there, feeling bad, she said out loud, right in her car, "That's not my thought, that's not my truth, that's not my future. I am equipped, I am chosen, I am victorious." The thought tried to come back the next day, but she canceled it again, and again, and again. Within a few weeks, her confidence soared. She launched her business. Was she nervous sometimes? Sure. But the fear no longer controlled her, because she had learned the power of immediate cancellation. Today, she's running a successful company, inspiring others to do the same, all because she refused to give negative thoughts a place to live. That's exactly how you have to treat your mind. You must become a fierce protector of your mental space. You cannot afford to be passive. You cannot afford to let one toxic thought set up camp. Every negative thought is an intruder, and you must throw it out as soon as it shows up. The process is simple but powerful. Recognize the negative thought, reject it immediately, and replace it with truth. You don't negotiate with doubt. You don't reason with fear. You don't coddle insecurity. You crush them. You terminate them on arrival. And here's the real beauty. The more you practice canceling negative thoughts immediately, the fewer of them show up. Just like intruders are less likely to break into a home that's well defended, negative thoughts will stop targeting a mind that's armed and ready. You'll start living with more clarity, more boldness, and more peace, because you've trained your mind to know the truth. You are not a prisoner of random thoughts. You are the gatekeeper. You decide what stays and what goes. So starting today, make a decision. Every time a negative thought pops up, cancel it on sight. Speak against it boldly. Remind yourself of who you are and where you're going. Because your life is too valuable, your future is too important, and your purpose is too great to be derailed by lies that you had the power to crush all along.
Most people wait until they see something good happen before they express gratitude. They believe that thankfulness is only appropriate after the evidence shows up. But the truth is, gratitude is not supposed to follow the blessing. Gratitude is what attracts the blessing. If you only thank God, the universe, or life after the blessing arrives, you're simply reacting to the obvious. But if you can thank him in advance, before you see it, before you feel it, before it even makes sense, you step into the kind of faith that moves mountains. Speaking gratitude for what you haven't even received yet is one of the most powerful forces you can activate in your life. It shifts your energy, your perspective, and your expectation into alignment with the very thing you desire. When you say thank you for the opportunity that's coming, even though you don't see it yet, you are announcing to your mind and to the world that you believe the opportunity is already yours. You're walking by faith, not by sight. You're choosing to live from the future you expect, not from the present you are experiencing. Gratitude in advance is a seed. It plants your future into the soil of your present. It creates an atmosphere where blessings are not only welcome, they are expected. And expectation is a magnet for manifestation. This practice of speaking gratitude before receiving is not wishful thinking. It's not pretending. It's faith in action. Faith is not just believing that good will happen. Faith is acting like it's already in motion. Gratitude is that action. Every time you say, thank you for my healing, even when symptoms are still in your body, you are giving more power to your belief than to your condition. Every time you say, thank you for my financial breakthrough, even when your bank account looks empty, you are shifting your energy from lack to abundance. You are no longer begging for blessings, you are preparing for them. Let me share a simple but powerful example. There was a man named David who had been jobless for almost a year. He had gone to countless interviews, sent out hundreds of applications, and received rejection after rejection. Most people in his situation would have fallen into despair, self-pity, and frustration. And honestly, he did for a while. But one day he decided he was going to try a different approach. Instead of waiting for the job to come before feeling thankful, he woke up every morning and said out loud, "Thank you for the job that's already mine. Thank you for the team that's excited to welcome me. Thank you for the promotion that's already in my future. Thank you for the provision that's already chasing me down." He spoke it before he saw anything change. Nothing shifted the first day, nothing, or even the third, but David kept going. His energy changed. His hope returned. He started walking differently into interviews, not desperate, but confident, like someone who knew something good was already on the way. Within a few weeks, the company called him back. Not only did they offer him a job, but they offered him a position higher than the one he applied for, with a better salary than he thought possible. Gratitude was the bridge between his desire and his destiny. He didn't wait until he had the blessing in his hand to give thanks. He spoke gratitude in advance and pulled the blessing toward him. That's how it works. When you speak gratitude for things you haven't yet received, you are signaling to your mind that the future is bright. You are training your heart to believe that the best is yet to come. You are stirring up joy, expectation, and peace, all the emotional fuel you need to stay on course, even when circumstances try to discourage you. Life will always give you reasons to doubt. Your job is to give yourself reasons to believe. And one of the greatest reasons to believe is the simple truth that what you are thanking God for in advance is already making its way to you. It may sound crazy to the world. It may look foolish to people who don't understand. But gratitude in advance is not foolish, it's faithful. And faithful people are the ones who see what others never even dream of seeing. Speaking gratitude for what you haven't received is a declaration of certainty. It's you saying, I am so sure of my destiny that I'm already celebrating it. It's you stepping into the energy of victory even when the battlefield looks empty. And the moment you do that, the atmosphere around you begins to shift. Opportunities start to recognize your voice. Resources start to be drawn to your energy. People start to be moved by your confidence. It all begins with speaking gratitude ahead of time. So don't wait. Don't delay your breakthrough by withholding your thankfulness. Start speaking now. Thank you for the healing that's already happening. Thank you for the door that's already opening. Thank you for the blessing that's already moving in my direction. The future belongs to those who celebrate it before it arrives. The life you want is already waiting. Speak gratitude in advance and watch it run toward you. Every single one of us has a purpose, an assignment placed deep inside of us, something we were born to do that no one else can do quite the way we can. But life has a way of distracting us from it. Responsibilities, disappointments, doubts. They pull at us every day, trying to get us to forget who we are and why we are here. That's why it is absolutely critical that you don't leave your assignment to chance. You must affirm it daily. You must wake up and remind yourself, today I operate in my purpose. Today I impact lives. Today I am a solution, not a problem. Because if you don't tell yourself who you are, life will try to tell you something you're not. Affirming your assignment daily is not just a feel-good exercise. It's a discipline that realigns your actions with your calling. Every morning you are either waking up on purpose or waking up on accident. If you don't deliberately set your intention to operate in your assignment, you'll find yourself wandering through the day, reacting to whatever comes at you, living by default instead of living by design. And when you live by default, you waste time, you waste energy, and you waste opportunities. But when you affirm your assignment, you wake up with a mission, you carry a different energy, you make different decisions, you speak with authority, you walk with certainty. You don't waste hours wondering if you matter. You move like someone who already knows they do. It's important to understand that affirming your assignment is not about arrogance, it's about alignment. It's not about boasting in your strength. It's about standing in your calling. Every day that you affirm your assignment, you are tuning your spirit like a musician tunes an instrument. You're making sure that when life plays its song, you're ready to hit the right notes. Life doesn't wait for you to be ready. Life rewards those who are already operating in readiness. Affirming your assignment prepares you mentally, emotionally, and spiritually to seize the opportunities that show up. And it empowers you to create opportunities where none seem to exist. So think about it like this. A pilot doesn't wait until after takeoff to decide where the plane is going. Before the engines roar, before the wheels leave the ground, the destination is already determined. The course is already set. Your life works the same way. Before you even step out the door in the morning, you need to set your internal GPS. Where are you going? Who are you serving? What impact are you making? When you affirm your assignment daily, you pre-program your journey toward destiny. Let me give you a powerful example. There was a man named Marcus who worked a regular 9-to-5 job. He felt like he was meant for more, but every day felt the same. Wake up, work, sleep, repeat. He was stuck in the cycle of existence, not really living. One day he heard someone say, if you want to change your life, start affirming your assignment every morning before you do anything else. So Marcus tried it every morning. Before checking his phone, before even getting out of bed, he said out loud, today I operate in my purpose. Today I impact lives. Today I am a solution, not a problem. At first it felt awkward. He wasn't sure it was working, but within days he noticed a shift. He started showing up to work differently. Instead of seeing his job as a burden, he saw it as a platform. He looked for ways to be a problem solver, not just a clock puncher. He encouraged his coworkers. He started a mentorship program in his department. He proposed new ideas that added value to the company. Opportunities for advancement that he never saw before began to open up. Within a year, Marcus was promoted twice, started a side business based on his passions, and was impacting more lives than he ever thought possible, all because he stopped drifting and started declaring his assignment daily. You see, the power was never outside of Marcus. It was in him all along, but it wasn't activated until he spoke it, until he called it out of himself. That same power is inside of you. But if you don't affirm it, if you don't claim it every day, it will lie dormant. Your assignment doesn't automatically dominate your life. It must be consciously activated. Words spoken daily shape thoughts, thoughts shape actions, and actions shape destiny. It all starts with your voice. So today, make a decision. No more wandering, no more wasted days, no more waiting for some external event to validate your worth. Wake up and affirm your assignment before you do anything else. Tell yourself who you are and what you are called to do. Speak it with conviction. Speak it until you believe it. Speak it until you live it. You are not here by accident. You are a solution walking the earth, an answer wrapped in skin, a purpose on a mission. And when you affirm your assignment daily, the world around you will have no choice but to make room for the greatness inside you. Everything that has ever been built, achieved, or conquered first existed in someone's imagination. Victory is not something that happens by accident. It is something that is seen clearly before it ever shows up in the physical world. That's why it's so important to visualize victory in full color, not in a vague, half-hearted, maybe it'll happen way, but in a vivid, specific, emotional way where you can see, feel, and almost touch the success before it even manifests. When you close your eyes and see yourself winning, when you picture yourself standing in the room, signing the contract, crossing the finish line, or delivering the speech, you reprogram your mind to believe that victory is not only possible, it's inevitable. The reason most people never walk in the fullness of their potential is because they never see themselves victorious before they act. They might hope for success. They might wish for a breakthrough, but they don't see it so clearly that it becomes part of who they are. When you consistently visualize yourself winning, something powerful happens. You start to align your behavior with the image you hold in your mind. Your words change. Your posture changes. Your decisions shift. You stop second-guessing yourself and start moving like someone who knows exactly where they're going. You talk different when you've already seen the ending and it's victorious. Joy's visualization isn't just daydreaming, it's mental training. Just like an athlete rehearses a move in their mind before ever stepping onto the field, you must rehearse your success internally before it ever plays out externally. Your mind can't distinguish between something vividly imagined and something actually experienced. When you visualize vividly, when you feel the handshake of the deal, hear the applause of the audience, see your name on the award, or feel the finish line tape snapping against your chest, you create neural pathways that prepare your body, your emotions, and your spirit to perform at that level in real life. This is why it's important not just to kind of see your future, but to see it in full color. Add the details. What are you wearing when you win? Who's standing next to you? What does the air smell like? How does your voice sound when you're announcing your achievement? The more details you add, the stronger the emotional imprint becomes, and the more powerfully your mind works to make that image your reality. Seeing yourself winning convinces your subconscious that victory is normal for you, and when victory feels normal on the inside, it starts becoming normal on the outside. Let me give you a powerful example. There was a young woman named Rachel who wanted to run a marathon. She wasn't a professional runner. In fact, she had never even run more than 3 miles at a time. But she had a dream to cross the finish line of a major marathon. When she first started training, it was rough. Every part of her body screamed, "Ha ha, you're not made for this." Every logical thought said, "This is impossible." But Rachel did something different. Every night before going to sleep, she would close her eyes and see herself finishing the race. She didn't just see herself starting it. She saw herself at the finish line, arms lifted high, smiling through the sweat and exhaustion, feeling the medal placed around her neck. She visualized the sound of the crowd cheering. She imagined the taste of the energy drink they would hand her after the race. She saw the exact shoes she would be wearing. She pictured herself hugging her family, who would be waiting at the finish. Every night, without fail, she rehearsed her victory. As her training continued, even on the hardest days when her muscles burned and her lungs felt like they would burst, she could still see the finish line. That vision pulled her through. When race day finally came, was it easy? No, but Rachel crossed that finish line exactly as she had seen it hundreds of times before. It wasn't a surprise to her. It was a manifestation of what she had already lived in her mind. That's the difference between those who win and those who wish. Winners see it before it happens. Winners live in the certainty of victory even while they are still fighting through the battle. Winners talk, walk, and move like the result is already written, because in their mind it already is. And when you move like that, when you speak like that, when you visualize like that, life starts to respond. Opportunities open. Confidence grows. The right people show up. Your body performs better. Your mind solves problems faster. All because you decided to see yourself victorious before anyone else could. So don't just hope for victory, see it. Don't just wish for success. Visualize it in full color. Close your eyes and imagine every detail. Feel it, hear it, taste it, experience it internally until it becomes more real than your current circumstances. Because once victory becomes real to you on the inside, it won't be long before it becomes your reality on the outside. Victory belongs to those who have seen it, believed it, and moved toward it without hesitation. Start seeing your future so vividly that you have no choice but to step into it with confidence, with certainty, and with unstoppable momentum. Listen, I'm not asking you to do this forever. I'm not asking you to take a leap into the unknown for the next 10 years. I'm simply asking you, trust the process for 3 days. 3 days of speaking life over yourself. 3 days of refusing negativity entry into your mind. 3 days of acting like the promise is already fulfilled. And after those 3 days, you won't even recognize the person you've become. You were never meant to live average. You were never meant to settle. You are greatness in motion if you dare to believe it and speak it. Talk to yourself like your life depends on it, because it does. Let's go. Your future is waiting for your voice to unlock it. Talk to yourself like this for just 3 days and watch heaven and earth move for you.